What's up, you guys? How you guys doing today? Welcome to Wise Money. So today's topic is competition. Is it good or is it bad? A lot of people, especially business people, entrepreneurs, I've heard a lot of them say that competition is actually good. I tend to disagree. I think that competition can be good if you're competing with yourself, with yourself from yesterday, because you're always trying to do better, and I get it. I think it's okay if you're trying to be better than your past self, or your yourself from yesterday, right? But now, what I disagree in is when people start competing. And this happens in business a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, I see it all the time, especially the big tech companies and the big, like the Googles and the Ubers and the Microsofts, the Apples, or whatever. And I get it. I think if you don't compete, like when you're such a big company, if you don't compete with one another, then you might just end up on the side of the curb, and I get it. I completely understand that. I'm not saying that competition isn't good in that, and when you're talking about competition that way, right? In that sense, what I mean by that is when you're competing, like if we're not talking companies, let's say we're talking individuals. When you're competing with one another, it's not just competition. Later on, you start getting malicious thoughts instead of competitive thoughts. I think I think it's unhealthy when you start competing with one another, because then it involves bigger things like self-esteem and I don't want to say greed, maybe envy. Envy is my word. Uh, I think competition brings a lot of envy between people. I think uh, I think competition is very, very It's not negative. I'm not trying to uh, come about it as it being negative. I'm saying when you compete with one another, between one another, and especially if you're friends and you're related to each other and stuff like that, I think it's very unhealthy, because you start hating on each other, because you see this guy, he just bought a new car, he just bought a new house, he just got a new contract, he just got a windfall of I don't know, $1 million or whatever. You start since you put yourself in that situation where you're competing. Now you feel like you're left behind. Now you start hating on him because he out of nowhere kind of jumped over you, and now you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure what to do, how to beat him, and sometimes you don't try to beat him. And I've seen this. I'm not saying personally. I'm saying I've seen this happen with many people. Sometimes just to beat the other person, they don't beat them in a fair way. They start um, doing negative things. They start bashing them. They start throwing dirt on their name. They start creating problems because they start hating on them. So that's the reason why I think being competitive can be good and it can be bad. When it comes to big companies, being competitive, it's actually really, really good. You actually want to be competitive when you're in a big company. When you're a CEO or a founder of a big company, you want to be competitive because you want to be ahead. You want to have the best product, or you want to be the company trending, or you know what I'm saying. But between individuals, I think it's very unhealthy. I think it is very unhealthy in that sense of situation. But see, a lot of people disagree. A lot of people think that being competitive is it's all about that's all business and stuff like that. But I think that you shouldn't be competitive. I think if you want to compete, you should compete with your old self, yourself from yesterday. And if you do want to compete, don't compete. Just dominate. Dominate the whole area. Dominate the whole thing. Dominate the whole sector. Don't compete. Just dominate. If you're gonna dominate, if you're gonna compete, just might as well dominate. Don't give him any room to compete. Because I myself, I think that if I'm gonna compete, I'm gonna do something so big that I'm not gonna give him any room to compete. And I think that would be the best way to compete. But if you think I'm wrong, you have any other thoughts you like to share, your way of thinking, or you think I might have missed something, please comment below. If you like this video, please like it, share it. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell so you can get the notification. And remember, stay wise, you guys. Till next time.